Welcome to Alternative Health with me, Valerie Saxion. Today I'm going to be talking to men and to women about everything from incontinence to a bald head to balancing your hormones to increasing intelligence and, actually even getting rid of dry skin. Lots of good stuff for, as I said, both men and women. So I hope I've got your attention, and I want to make sure I keep it because I'm going to say something that a lot of the men might say, yeah, honey, with the elbow, yeah, you need some of that. Well, guys, maybe you need some of this too. So here it is. What am I talking about? I am talking about something that many, many, many Americans need, especially when we pass that, like 35, 40, 45 mark, and these levels of this substance began to become deficient within our bodies. And when it does, there is a myriad of ailments and disorders and just little aches and pains and issues that seem to appear when we have a deficiency in progesterone. That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about progesterone levels. And having optimum levels of progesterone can do all kinds of wonderful, wonderful things for you. And that's what I want to talk to you about, because so many times, as I said, everything from dry hands to bald head to hormone issues, what are we doing? We put lotion on our hands. We're getting the special shampoos and all these various things for our head. And then we're like, okay, well, I better go to the doctor. I need to get something for my hormones. So we're really kind of stabbing in the dark, and we're putting Band-Aids on all of these different issues, when in reality, there may be one root cause. And Jesus said, lay the axe to the root. And that's really what I endeavor to do in my life. And I hope that I'm teaching you how to do it in yours and in your health. And that is, get to the root of the issue of the problem. Don't just use the shotgun effect. Because the shotgun effect, eventually you're going to hit something. You might get rid of some symptoms, but it doesn't mean you're going to actually get well. And we don't want to just cover things up. We don't want to treat symptoms. We want the body to do what the body knows how to do already, which is to heal, which is to utilize the natural things that God has given us to cause your body to heal naturally. That's what God intends. So I want to get started here, because the first topic that I'm going to talk about having to do with progesterone, if you're alive, okay, then you need to know this information. And what I'm going to talk about is your heart, your cardiovascular system. Progesterone may inhibit the excessive proliferation of the smooth muscle tissue, and by doing that, it will prevent hardening of the arteries, arteriosclerosis. So this is the very first thing. It actually prevents many, many types of cardiovascular diseases. And even having optimal levels of progesterone, studies show, help to prevent heart attacks, as well as hypertension, high blood pressure. Isn't this interesting? And while we're talking about all this, it also lowers the bad cholesterol, the LDL cholesterol. So when it comes to the heart, here is progesterone, which is a hormone, but here it is working in all of these other areas and all of these other functions within the body. Now, I already mentioned this, but I want to go into it again, because I want to go down and show you through my list all of the things that having the optimum level of progesterone can do for you. It also helps with incontinence. Now, I'm like I said, I mentioned that as we were coming in, but that is a big, serious problem that people are having. And you know what? I'm going to tell you, don't accept these things because you're a certain age. I hear that stuff, oh, well, when you retire, or when you get to 65, or when you get to such and such, you're going to have these issues. No, no, no. You should not accept that. You should find out, okay, if that's happening at a certain age in my life, and that is typical of other people, what happens within the body during that time frame? Do I lose this hormone level that is typically there? Is this what happens? And you need to look at what is triggering that response within the human body, okay? And then when you find out what the body is deficient in, you put it back in. Because you know what? I want to live every day of my life to the optimal level that I can. And you know why I want to do it? I want to be all that God's called me to do. I don't like down days. And if it means putting a little progesterone cream on my arm or behind my knee or something, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because I don't want to miss the mark that God has set before me. And, you know, I mean, the Bible's so clear. Lay down every weight that so easily besets you. And maybe that's a deficiency in progesterone. So it can help with incontinence. It also helps with hair loss for men and women. So, I mean, these are very simple things. Everything from hair loss that affects women, from hormonal issues, to male pattern baldness. Now, once again, I mean, some of you are kind of going, that ain't right. I just know that can't be. I'm telling you, this is right. When you have a deficiency, even if it's in a hormone that you only thought was for women, and you have insufficient levels, there will be a problem. Absolutely. There's going to be a problem. So, these are things that will absolutely, to help you, the progesterone to get things corrected. Once again, let me go into the next thing. This is going to shock you, but allergies. Allergies. Now, allergies are something that you're probably going, okay, oh, she's really off the deep end this time. How are allergies going to be affected by progesterone levels? Well, I tell you what, when you have hormones out of balance and neurotransmitters or brain chemicals out of balance and you're under a lot of stress, your histamine levels are going to go up. I've seen people, they're getting their test results back, never had an allergy in their life. And they start going through a stressful situation or have, their hormones are flying down and up and all over the place. And all of a sudden, they are allergic to everything in sight. I mean, they are sneezing at everything, up, down, in, out. It is a huge, huge problem. So, what are you going to do? Well, if you have an insufficiency, you need to make sure that you get sufficient levels. And this could be your very answer. To get rid of an allergy problem doesn't mean that you have a deficiency of Benadryl. Now, I've used Benadryl. I'm not knocking Benadryl in any way, shape, or form. But when you're having an allergic reaction, it doesn't mean there's a deficiency in the drug. It means there's a problem, something that's off balance within your body. And we want to get that in there to really rectify the problem versus just treating it. So the allergy issues that you may be having that you never had before could be simply from a hormone deficiency. So this could be, some of these things are pretty doggone simple, but we just overcomplicate so many times. Or, as the word says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Well, God doesn't want us destroyed. He does not. And then, if you look at the verse after that, he says, if you reject this knowledge. So I hope that when you're listening to me today, that you do something about this. If you're having these issues and you know that you're at those ages when when you can have deficiencies, then guess what? You need to take action and see change in your life. Make a U-turn. And next thing, on and on, helps to alleviate autoimmune diseases. Now, I tell you, when I was in my early 20s, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, rheumatoid arthritis. God healed me miraculously. And the very short time that I had it, I looked like death warmed over. I looked like a Holocaust victim. It was horrible. Those autoimmune diseases absolutely are dreadful. They are treacherous to deal with. Lupus, all of these various things, when simply it could be a progesterone deficiency. And the great news is we don't have to go there. These things are natural that God has provided through men and women of God, through chemists with knowledge, because knowledge is being increased, and God is leading us to those things that can make a real, real difference. In fact, there's a guy right now sitting on the other side of the camera that told me earlier, hey, I use that stuff, it really helped me. And that's really cool. I love to hear those stories when people come back and say, hey, I just did what you said. And just there were changes. Things happened. And that's what you should be getting if you're using any kind of supplement. When you are using something that you believe your body is deficient in, you should see a change. And that's what God wants, changing, moving, growing in Him. I'll be right back.
Progesterone deficiency is an underlying cause of many medical problems in today's society. In both men and women, everything from the inside and out is affected by this hormone. Progesterone cream may help treat heart disease, hypertension, and may even help to prevent heart attacks. It can lower total serum cholesterol levels and helps your body turn fat tissue into energy. This amazing cream may protect against hair loss and stimulate hair regrowth and male pattern baldness. It may alleviate migraine headaches, boost intelligence, and help restore normal sleep cycles. Progesterone may even alleviate allergies and acne. You can order your progesterone cream today for the low price of $29.95. To order, call 1-800-493-1146. That's 1-800-493-1146. Or visit us online at www.valeriesaxion.com.
Progesterone, men, women, it's just one of those things everybody needs. If you're living and breathing, you need your hormones balanced, because if they're not, somebody probably wants to slap you upside the head. You might even want to slap yourself upside the head, because when things are out of balance, a lot of times you're just not a happy person, or you're making someone else not a happy person, or you just hurt and you're having issues physically. And progesterone is one of those things that's easy to obtain, to literally rub the cream on your body and get the non-synthetic that's going to make a huge difference in obviously every area, from dry skin to what hair is growing on your head. So I want to go on, because I want to talk about now more of the things inside, like we started, having to do with the proper levels of progesterone. And I'm just going to jump into this, and that's cancer. I'm telling you, cancer issues, especially in women and certain forms in men, can be prevented, or at least the acceleration of it slowed tremendously by proper levels of progesterone. Breast cancer, endometrial cancer, prostate cancer, uterine cancer. These are just some of the things having to do with the immune system, of course, that progesterone will do. And you know what? These are things that we're just not hearing. Think about it. We're just not hearing this, everywhere. Let me open up the magazine sitting in the doctor's office. Hey, if you have proper levels of progesterone, every once in a while you'll catch something, but these are life-saving changes that you can easily make, men and women, and make a huge difference in how our body runs. This vehicle, our body, actually runs and works for us. So, speaking of our body, now I'm going to flip back to the outside, and that's who doesn't want to look better? And this is a really cool one. I love this. Progesterone, proper levels, actually facilitates the usage of adipose tissue. Adipose tissue, which is fatty tissue, and it actually converts it into cellular energy. Now that is cool. What else do you say? So you get more hair on your head, your skin is softer and more pliable, you look better, you're feeling better, you don't have the incontinence, you're boosting your immune system, and then to top it off, we're burning fat for energy. Praise God. I'm like, yes, Lord. Who does not want to do that? Everybody does. We want to get rid of the bad fat. For Pete's sakes, instead of just getting rid of it and having it sucked out, let's turn it into something we can use, like energy. Hey, that might be an end to the fuel crisis. Okay. Anyway, yeah, we'll go there another time. But this is something that everybody is interested in. So before you go running off to get some lipo or something like that, really think about some of these natural things that God has given us that can make such a difference, not just in the way that you look. And I do think those are things that are important, because people are more confident when they look better and so forth. But things that will then give you more energy to accomplish the goals that God has set for us. Then also, and I mentioned this slightly, but cholesterol levels. We want to make sure our cholesterol levels are right. All of these things, and when you talk about burning the bad fat, the adipose tissue, cholesterol is fat. That's it. Cholesterol is fat. It's where your hormones are made out of. So you want to make sure you get the bad cholesterol down, the good cholesterol up. It increases energy. And when you have more energy, you're going to burn more fat. So absolutely, one of the things that progesterone is great for is obesity, because it will help you utilize that fat and get rid of it. And it's awesome. It'll also lower triglycerides. It's also been said to alleviate many, many cases of fibromyalgia. And this is something, I've said it over and over, and these are one of those things that you just hear all the time, men and women, that it's very, very common. What is fibromyalgia? It's scar tissue pain. That's what the word actually means. So where does it come from? Well, there's all kinds of different beliefs and theories and so forth, but when your body's out of whack and you have an imbalance, there will be pain. Absolutely. You can't get away from it. So you need to look at, hey, if I have a deficiency in this hormone and I put it back in and I get things balanced, well, all of a sudden things are okay, versus having way too much estrogen and not enough progesterone. You have to look at these, is that, where is your scale balanced? Are you balanced? Are you just out of whack? And because of that, things are flying all over the place. That's not God's best for you, and there is a way out. So I hope you're listening. I hope you're taking notes, because it's great information. And you know what? Even if it's not for you, it might be for somebody that you're going to be talking to that needs to hear what I have to say. So next, talking about pain, progesterone is excellent for joint pain, for inflammation, for things that, just can go on as we get older. We can notice, oh, wow, oh, man, I never used to have joint pain. And, I've even had people say that their knuckles, would be, their joints would be real swollen and at certain times, and they couldn't wear their rings or things. And that may be the case. So once again, we got to look at what's triggering these reactions within the body. What is triggering these responses, that are causing that type of inflammation that you actually, that you have enlargement within the joints. Especially if you're somebody that's eating good, there's got to be another root cause. Another thing that progesterone is great for is osteoporosis. And the studies actually show that it may prevent and possibly reverse osteoporosis. And that's pretty amazing stuff. These are clinical studies. And I'm telling you, people everywhere, women specifically, and it sure isn't a calcium deficiency. If you think about it, really, the food manufacturing companies in this country add calcium to everything, even orange juice. It's just everywhere, added calcium. Well, if there's all this extra added calcium, why are there more people with osteoporosis than ever? Okay, there's another imbalance. There's other problems going on within the human body that need to be brought up to par. So if you're one of those people, you're taking all these calcium, the drugs for osteoporosis, and you're trying to increase your calcium levels, well, you better look at your hormones and see where your progesterone level's at. And, maybe this is something that you need to do, that you need to increase, that would be very, very simple to do. So on from there, aside from all of the beautiful things, the fat detox and the extra energy and all that good stuff, what else? Well, let's look at the brain, which of course we know the brain regulates the rest of the body. Well, did you know that your brain, if you do not have enough of the hormone progesterone, your brain can be kind of like out of whack and once again off balance. So we want to make sure that we have enough. So what does it help with? Number one thing, improves concentration. And I don't know about you, but with a bunch of kids and a bunch of work and a bunch of travel and all this, I can use all the concentration I can get because it is so easy. with the pull of life, the distractions every day. So I want everything I can get so that, okay, so somebody comes in, Mom, can I go swimming? You know, those things happen, right? I mean, especially the moms and the grandmas know exactly, and dads know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, and that's okay. That can happen, and you should be able to say, sure, hon, you know, wait 30 minutes, I'll take you, whatever, and then go right back to what you're doing and finish it up. But what happens to so many people, and I have friends like this, is they'll have a little distraction like that, and instead of it just like answer the question and move on, they're sidetracked the rest of the day. And I mean, it doesn't have to be just a little kid thing, but I know you're going to get my point, because we've all had those moments where you just feel like, whoa, what in the world happened? I had my to-do list, and it just like nothing got done. In fact, I added 3 more things to it. Right? You know what I'm talking about. Hey, I've got more to share. Don't go anywhere. Just stay right here, watch this, and then, you know, I'll be back in a sec.
Progesterone deficiency is an underlying cause of many medical problems in today's society. In both men and women, everything from the inside and out is affected by this hormone. Progesterone cream may help treat heart disease, hypertension, and may even help to prevent heart attacks. It can lower total serum cholesterol levels and helps your body turn fat tissue into energy. This amazing cream may protect against hair loss and stimulate hair regrowth and male pattern baldness. It may alleviate migraine headaches, boost intelligence, and help restore normal sleep cycles. Progesterone may even alleviate allergies and acne. You can order your progesterone cream today for the low price of $29.95. To order, call 1-800-493-1146. That's 1-800-493-1146. Or visit us online at www.valeriesaxion.com.
Concentration. Yeah. So when we ended right before the break, I was talking about concentration. So are you concentrating? Do you remember everything that I said? Are you focused? Are you honed in? Are you with me on the progesterone and what it can do to change you and the situation that you're in if you are deficient? Well, once again, progesterone, which, by the way, concentrates in the brain. So if you don't have enough, you just don't have enough brain food. So you need to make sure, even though you might be rubbing it on your arm, it's going to concentrate in your brain. So it will improve concentration, which everybody wants and needs. It actually helps to alleviate and even prevent many types of depression. And depression is just rampant in this country. And some people might say, well, you know, it's spiritual, it's a devil. Well, I sure agree in a lot of situations, but not all. There's so much to do with diet. There's so much to do with the amount of chemicals that are being put in and on these bodies, and the imbalances, and the hormone imbalances, and everything else. And, you know, the bottom line is faith without works is dead. So if you are deficient in something, you need to get it. And depending on your diet, depending on, you know, other circumstances and stress levels and so forth, you could be highly deficient in something that would be a very easy fix and prevent a lot of other problems down the road. Also, gotta tell you, progesterone helps with postpartum depression. Now, that doesn't work for guys, by the way. That just, no, the guys don't really need that. But after having 8 kids, I did have depression after one of my children. Thank the Lord, not any others, but that one was enough for me. And when you're in the middle of it, it's hard to hear that there's a way out or you're coming out. And so if you know somebody that's in that situation, I pray that you'll help them and you'll give them this information, because a lot of times, like I said, when people are there and they're in depression and they're, or postpartum blues, whatever, they can't help themselves. They feel useless, hopeless, lost in that circumstance, and it a lot of times takes a friend to go and say, hey, you know what, I heard some information that I think could really help you. What do you think? Let's try it. Let's make a change. And so many times it's those simple things, and maybe it's another circumstance other than the progesterone, but so many times those little things are what can make all the difference in the world. So what else does it help with the brain? Well, how about this one? Greatly increases intelligence. Woohoo! Woo! Hey, I want intelligence. I am an information junkie. I want all the brains I can get to increase my knowledge. I want more knowledge. I want more information. I want more things stored up here in this brain. If we only use 5 to 10% of our brain, for the human race as we know it, what are we actually capable of? What did God actually build us? Because God doesn't do anything on accident. So what are we actually capable of if we have about at least 90% of our brain that we don't even use? Well, there's a question for you, and it's a good question. Well, I want more intelligence to try and figure it out. Hey, I need some of that progesterone cream probably right now. What else? Stops irritability, or helps to alleviate it, I should say. I guess some people could be irritable for all kinds of things. It also helps with migraines, also helps with multiple sclerosis, also helps to restore normal sleep cycles. I mean, these are some of just the absolute basics. And then once again, I did mention skin and dry skin, but you know what? It is literally, I'm just kind of, it's been scratching the surface of all of my notes here, because it really helps with everything from infertility to sex drive to fibromyalgia to incidence of different types of cancer, to PMS, to, you name it, wrinkles, acne, allergies. It's just a whole gamut of issues. And really, bottom line is, if you have a deficiency, it could be showing up in all parts of your body, not just, oh, my hormones are out of whack, it's almost that time of the month, or I'm going through menopause, and and these little pat answers that we hear. No, it could be everything from hair loss to, my hands are always dry, I just don't understand it. I just put lotion after lotion and they're still dry. What's the deal with that? I think you need to give Progesterone Cream a try. It is good stuff, good for all kinds of things that might be ailing you, and a root cause of so many things that will keep you from just putting a Band-Aid on it, from just covering up another symptom of a root issue. I want you, give us a call, 800-493-1146, or go to my website, that is ValerieSaxion.com. Get the information on Progesterone Cream and what all it can do for you. You can get the special. We always have specials running. You need to gather these things. You need to get to the issues that may be plaguing your family. Because bottom line is, if you're not feeling good, it will affect everybody. But there's something now, progesterone, that can make a difference in you and your life.
Thanks for watching Alternative Health with Valerie Saxion. The information in this program is designed to bring you the latest in alternative health. Valerie's mission is to educate and encourage you to strive for and obtain a healthy body, soul, and spirit. From there, your purpose and calling can be achieved as God intended it to be.